Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General Yahanna presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping. Any man give his life for Yahweh Shai, Mashiach, and Christ, and fall up under that U.P.K banner. It's my brother and my blood, and I will die and kill for him if necessary. Go to ground, 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 go to ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground, back up, give ground, give ground. It's all about that warfare, boy. Take ground, 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 take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground, take ground. My soldiers take ground till them stand down. Take ground, take ground, take ground. Nah, this ain't no
I told you not to do no sin no more. I guess they acting like they hear me. 90 days I let a fiend for. If this what you want, you best go beast mode. And she said, baby, I know you legit. Baby, I know you legit. She said, man, like you don't even exist. And I said, U.P.K made me like this. Bada bing, I popped the least suspected. I start all my crowns, ring and necklace. Do what the men above had taught me. Hey, you say I play too hot, no coffee. I had to change my life like this, yeah. I'm taking life for what it is, yeah. Quit acting blind, you need some lenses. Abiding by the damn scriptures, hey. I told you not to do no sin no more. I guess they acting like they hear me. 90 days I let a fiend for. If this what you want, you best go beast mode. And she said, baby, I know you legit. Baby, I know you legit. She said, man, like you don't even exist. And I said, U.P.K made me like this. I've been up, 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 I've been up. Quit the fuss, show me love, I need love. Don't wanna leave me, yeah. I'm mixing up my damn problems. I'm mixing out all of that violence. If you with me, we on that fly shit. To all these worldly bastards round us, I say, I told you not to do no sin no more. I guess they acting like they hear me. 90 days I let a fiend for. If this what you want, you best go beast mode. And she said, baby, I know you legit. Baby, I know you legit. She said, man, like you don't even exist. And I said, U.P.K made me like this.
On a cool damn night, gave myself in that misty light, was hypnotized by strange delight under a lilac tree.
Spitting Hebrew, 3 and 1, combination, yeah. Well, how you want to talk more like us after this? I.S.U.P.K and the commandments, increase inspiration, rock like out, like out, shine. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe and taste. I finally got the recipe, passed down the ages, sitting under the family tree. Put my heart and all my soul, stretched enough to feed. No wine, no oil, and nigga, I'm a priest. First I was lost, needed more song. Now my over the truth all along is the songs and bones. Defeated dogs, bread, bait, on the plate of Jake, Christian and eat. Fishing the got meat in the recipe. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe. Seen it there for me. Lord knows it's what's left of me. Something was missing. I found myself in the kitchen. Water whipping up a piece of chicken just to feed my ambition. Or is it me trying to fill my greed? Cause when it always had to have some green. Burning what I made up every day. Wasted eating, regurgitate. I had a taste for something different, wishing I knew it is. It had me on a mission, ducking state prison, watching opposition on an expedition straight to prison. For instance, full of capers often, 50 bands stashed in my apartment. Need to spark the they get to talking like the Nintendo popping in the extra cartridge. Women honking, best promoters. When she told her, framework Golex, still void and couldn't feel that hole. Sex, money, weed, over and over. But hold up, wait, what's that aroma? Frozen, I'm thawing and I'm getting warmer. Closer and closer, I came to the home of the truth. I'm smelling the salt through my gullet. Border of blue house, I hopped out my garment. Look how my friends is falling. I've been anointed with all the button is working. Cutting, blazing, breaking down and observing. All the catering in Israel. The season all in the shoulder. With plenty wine in the oil, you find it's more finer than the gold. And I found the recipe. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe it takes. I finally got the recipe. Passed down the ages, sitting under the family tree. Put my heart and all my soul, stretched enough to feed. No wine, no oil, the nigga, I'm a priest. First I was lost, and needed more songs. Now my home of the truth all along is the source of bones. The feed the dogs, bread, bait, off the plate of Jake, fishing to eat. Fishing that got meat in the recipe. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe. Seen it there for me. Lord knows it's what's left of me. First let me tell you, brother, you see this can't get a slice. There's some ingredients to suffice. Should be nice even if the spice ain't precise. Like your whole life is a sacrifice. Two or more in the name of Christ. Like the night you had to cut corners just to afford to fill all your short orders. It makes a lot of zeal as you go. One the kind that's rechargeable. And it's hard to pull crumbs and bread, but you kept holding to the crust cold and make it post. Ain't no other wood. You can never have too much brotherhood. We was laying eggs that would go bananas. Trying to be in the bandanas. Got you gon' need at least the faith of a mustard seed. When you're stirring the pot up, the pressure gon' brew. Just know you ain't bit off more than you can chew. Only one Lord, faith and baptism. Lot of knowledge and wisdom. I'll keep you cool as a cucumber. If you find yourself in a pickle, get your bread and lots of oil, wine it all. Bring it all to a boil. Not half-baked, cause lukewarm. It gets spit right back in the bowl. Cold. And after you forge it, go find a man that the Lord said for you and yours. And just remember that this ain't for them. You know about the recipe. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe. I made wine. I made wine. I made wine. The recipe. I made wine for my heart, and it's true. That's the recipe.
Put my heart in its recipe.
All right, let's clap it up. Shalom, Israel. The Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge started out of 1 West, 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yahanna. This is Monday night's history class, Washington, D.C. It's a lot of things going on in the earth today. It's a glorious time to be here in this wicked kingdom because we can literally see, the crumbling of it. Right. We watching everything just peel and blow apart. So that's a good thing. Our people are just still going astray on these wicked philosophies, and anything that the heathen got to offer, we jumping right into it, with no kickback. We just jumping right into it. We don't even question it. You got our people, they go into the Christian church. You can't even raise your hand in church. You know what I'm saying? You just got to literally sit there and endure what that deviant has to offer, And outside of that, all the heathen customs and their ideologies, they don't fit us. They not for us. They never was. The Lord told us that. Right. So, being this is Monday night history class, we're gonna go in a little bit on, I don't. A lot of our people are aware of them. They have no representation no more. Nobody talks about them. But if you ever heard of the 5% nation of gods and earths, they come up out of the NOI, the Nation of Islam, and both of them tied together. Some of them reject each other, but at the same time, it's the same thing. It's all heathen philosophy. So, we're gonna start right there. It's like just a brief rundown, like a brother by the name of Clarence 13X. He was born in Virginia. He eventually made his way up to Harlem, where he got in, he found himself in the Nation of Islam, and he eventually became right up under Malcolm X. And he was teaching that the black man is God. Now, you know that's not true. It's even the lessons that the 5% nation teaches is that the black man is God, but where do they get that from? They get that from the Nation of Islam lessons. The 5% nation calls it 120, the 120. A lot of them say, you know, if you master 120, you know, you just all full of wisdom. And then they tell you to read the Bible and read the Quran, but hardly none of them read it. But they always refer back to Psalm 82, you know, ye are gods. They like to say that to try to fakely prove their point that the black man is God. And then one of their lessons, you know, the 1 through 10, the student enrollment, which the Nation of Islam gives certain people in their organization the privilege to even read that information. Outside of that, you just the person that's underneath somebody who really doesn't have that much wisdom. But since they are privileged to read those lessons, they over top of the person. This is like the pastor over top of the congregation, pretty much. And then in that first one, it says, you know, who is the original man? You know, like the Most High made all of us. You know, he made man, he made woman. There's no original man. Like, what does that mean? You know, original man, a man born better than the next man, or, you know, I mean, everybody was born. The Most High created everybody. But these 5%ers or the Nation of Islam / they say that the black man is the original man, the maker of the planet, cream of or the mat. You know, he's the original. He's the maker of the planet, as if he literally made the planet Earth or any of the elements. And then they try to say to prove that he's the God of the universe. They say because we have 99 elements in our body. So you can find iron and, you know, whatever all the elements come off the periodic chart. So they try to use that to justify. Salaki, sir.
Yeah, question. So why don't they call themselves the 99%? If they got 99 elements, why they call themselves 5%? What's in the name of that?
Okay, the term 5%, it derives from you have 100%, and 85% of the people on the planet, they saying are deaf, dumb, and blind. They deaf to the truth, they dumb to the truth, and they blind. They can't see what's going on. This is their ideology. Salaki.
Is there any reason why they say 85%? There's something that come from something too, or they just made up that number?
Well, it
ain't gonna be 84, 86. We want to
85, sir. I mean, where that ideology stems from, you know, I don't know. I only learned about it, you know, being in that, you know, in the world. And the 85% are basically 85% of our people that are lost. 10% are the people who has the truth and refuse and withholds the truth back, such as like they equate it to like somebody like a Mason or the pastors and preachers, somebody in an elite authority, in a seat of elite. And the 5% are the poor righteous teachers who teach the true and living God is the black man and Allah is the creator. And they have these things. Well, see, the 5%ers, they get it from the Nation of Islam. Their lessons come from the Nation of Islam, but they have another thing that was made up by Clarence 13X and his partner Justice. They made it up in Harlem after they was kicked out of the I think it's Temple number 4 up in Harlem by Malcolm X and his crew. They was kicked out of there for teaching the lessons that they don't, you know, privy people to even read. And when they was kicked out, they eventually, you know, made up a system of what they call supreme mathematics and supreme alphabets, which is fake. All of it's fake. And they use 1 to 9 with a number system, and the 0 being what they call a cipher or 360 degrees. A lot of our hip hop artists, mainly in New York, Jersey area, and it spread it, but mainly in that area throughout the 80s and the 90s. A lot of the prominent hip hop artists that you know of were 5%ers, were spreading lies and false doctrines. They never taught the truth, never, while saying this is the truth. Your truth is Islam. And they use Islam in a acronym way. They say, you know, when you take the letters I-S-L-A-M, they would tell you, because it comes from the made up supreme alphabets that they got. I, self, Lord, and Master, which is made up. You know, Islam, we know, belongs to the Arabs. As you as a black man, Hispanic or Native Indian man, you can't be a real Muslim and live in America, because you can't do what they do over there and then get away with it right here in America, because you got laws over here that govern against that. Just like, if you could, sir, if you can, it's just one, you know, this is something that's in the I think it's in the Quran, with what is this, the Surah Muhammad 47:4, where it's basically calling for Muslims to, you know, to the non-believers, to the people that persecute them. Really, nobody's persecuting Muslims too much, you know, not in their own lands. You know, I mean, if you are, you know how the Arabs go. They put you to death if you're coming up against them. But over here, you have people walking around in, you know, the hijab and their robes and everything. You guys, sir?
Oh, Salaki.
Oh, Salaki.
So,
Yeah.
47:4.
Color one kind, sir.
All right.
I'm ready, sir. This is just you know, something, just a brief thing that what they got going on, the actual Arabs, you know, that they doing over there, but they can't do it over here. Salaki, sir.
This is Surah Muhammad 47:4. So when you meet those who disbelieve in battle, strike the necks until.
Strike the necks until. See, this right here is what our brothers, our black brothers and sisters, Hispanic, Native Indian brothers and sisters who take up Islam, this is what you can't do over here. So how can you call yourself, what I like to say, a real fake Muslim? Because you're not a Muslim. You're not. You're an Israelite. You're a child of the Most High.
Right.
If you are the 12 tribes of Israel, you do not belong to Ishmael, which is the biblical nationality for the Arabs. You can read on, sir.
When you have inflicted slaughter upon them, then secure the bonds and either set them free afterward or ransom them until the war lays down its burdens.
See, this right here, this is madness right here. You know, the scriptures say that Ishmael will be, you know, I'm paraphrasing, Ishmael will be a wild man, you know, in the earth. And he is wild. Right. And he got the doctrine to back it up. We just read it right there. Right. That's just one, you know. You know, if you can get this one too, sir, I just want to, you know, get this out the way, because this is what the Nation of Islam / 5%ers who call themselves Muslims, or they taking up Islam and they always screaming about Allah this and Allah that. But at the same time, why are you not doing that? We against that doctrine right now. You don't see us, you know what I'm saying? You don't see that happening to us right here. You don't see that happening, and it's not going to happen. So like you could go to what's the Surah 434? The Surah 434. And this right here, this one right here is just, it's going to tell you a little bit about, you know, basically how they treat their women, you know, in those Arab countries. Most of those Arab countries, Muslim countries, they are allowed to have child marriages, and some of them don't even have restrictions on the age. It doesn't even matter, you know, just like in the Quran with Muhammad and Aisha, you know, he married her at 6 and actually had sex with a 9-year-old. That's sickness right there.
Right.
Khan, please. Khan, sir. I don't want us getting that precept. You know, the 5%ers with they so-called mathematics and alphabets, how it links up with how they link it up, you know, born in this and born in that, which I'll get into. But their mathematics 1 through 9, and with the 0 being that, it doesn't mean nothing. That does not help our people. There is no real solution to that, you know, that type of ideology. You will get nowhere with dealing with information like that. That's not a higher knowledge. It's nothing deep. It sounds to the naked ear as if, you know, oh, this brother is deep. But at the same time, you're getting nowhere with it. Because if you start trying to live by mathematics and alphabets, what is that? That's an ideology, you know, that even went against the whole team that they came from, which is the NOI, or the Nation of Islam. So all of it's heathenry, and we're gonna get into a little bit of that. If you got it, sir.
This is Romans chapter 12 and verse 18 that you just read in the comic book you can use for toilet paper. That you know you should just murder people who don't believe what you believe. In the Bible, in the real Constitution, our Constitution, it says Romans 12 and 18. It says, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Live peaceably with all men. But this is not, you know, the Arabs, the Arabs. This is not what they live by. Right. There has to be a beheading. There has to be a dismemberment of the body somewhere on that land over there. Somebody has to spill blood in that manner, you know, or, you know, of course, the long way, you know, bullets going through people, you know, they definitely do that, unaliving people in a horrible way, right in front of their families, just like the Arabs did to us, just like the white man did to us, you know. We still in captivity. We still, the white man, who is the devil that the Bible speaks of, he allows other nations to come over here and purposely be over top of us, just so we won't have no economic power. We seen what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that's just not the only city. That's just a you know, one of the biggest models of, you know, black excellence. How they unalived, you know, a bunch of our brothers and sisters in the community of Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, what they call it. And that's not the only city. We got a lot of cities that's been sunk underwater. They flooded the towns, pushed people out of there, and eventually just start unaliving people, you know. So if we could, sir, can we get the I want to pull a scripture, Proverbs 3:31. Yes, sir. And so the 5%ers, they say, you know, I'll give you an example. Just like, you know, for the police, they'll say, you know, these ciphers. Yeah. Now who they talking about? They talking about the police. They talking about cops. You know, COPS. We all know how to spell the words cops. But if you listen to some of those hip hop songs, especially in the 90s, you will hear them brothers say C ciphers, and they talking about the police department. You know, you will hear them say knowledge guard. You know what I'm saying? Things in this manner. But these are things that were made up literally because they don't represent nothing in, you know what I'm saying, amongst our people, the Israelites. They don't represent nothing. Right. And the only thing that pushes is lies. And our people through the Christian church, it's basically another form of Christianity. You know, this ain't nothing but Christianity at its finest. It's just using the name Islam or calling yourself a Muslim. But it's not real Islam, because the brothers and sisters over here who are in the Nation of Islam, you don't dress how they dress over there. You know, the brothers in the Nation of Islam, you don't grow your beards out. We grow our beards in here. You can keep your beard low but you can't cut it off. If you grow a beard, you cannot completely cut your beard off, nor are you to shape it up at the corners or your head. You're not to shape up anything on your face or your head.
Right.
Because the scriptures say that, you know. And the brothers in the Nation of Islam, they cut their face. They pride themselves on walking around with a clean face. Hate on you for having a beard, you know what I'm saying? Because they walking around like some brother, and it's not a knock on this, but you know, a lot of brothers was walking. I mean, they was working on in trains. You know what I'm saying? They was working in trains where they had to serve these devils. You understand? So they walking around there with big bow ties on, parts in their hair, as if you clean. That's not clean, man. That what you doing right here is you taking on the devil's ideology. Because remember, the Nation of Islam was founded by a devil, W.D. Farad Muhammad, you know, who was a criminal. Nobody really knows who he was, but he was definitely a devil. The Nation of Islam even showed that. You know, they admit to that this Farad Muhammad, you know, he was definitely a white man. You know, if I could, sir, to show you that this type of information does not fit our people and is not our customs or our ways. Can you pull up the Nation of Islam flag and then the country of Turkey flag? And we're gonna see the comparison on how the Turkish nation, Shalom warrior, we're gonna see how the Turkish nation, you know, this is how the Nation of Islam rock. They use the Turkish flag when you see it. They didn't make that up. They got that directly from Turkey. A lot of their names are East Indian names, but at the same time, they using Arabic, you know what I'm saying, to let you know something, but they not speaking Arabic. They don't even really reference the Quran. You know, it's all garbage, man. Everything that they say is garbage. It's not our people. You got that, sir? Yeah, see, now this right here. This is the Nation of Islam flag right here. That's the one, right? So, yeah, come. So, and if you could please, you can bring the Turkish flag. And see that's a direct comparison right there. That's the real country flag. The Nation of Islam, that's not a real flag. Nobody recognizes this. Only in America. I mean, this is trash. This is garbage. Right. So you got a backwards flag, you know what I'm saying, with your backwards ideology. Right. You know, so I guess this is the norm for you. You know, this is what you do. I understand that. But Slagi, so you got that scripture, Proverbs 3:31? If you could, please. What, Slagi, sir? Young man, can you give me the Proverbs 3:31? Baba Shah. So, you know, I'm gonna keep reiterating that Islam is not ours. It does not belong to you, whether you call yourself a Muslim or a Moor, because the Moors like to say that they Muslims as well. Don't forget that you let the devils in your organization and you call them Muslim sons. You are actually let a devil in your organization when Elijah Muhammad was teaching back in the 50s and the 60s on national TV that the white man is the devil. Now, did he really believe it? Who knows? I know we do. We in the I.S.U.P.K, we mean what we say. The white man is the devil, and we can prove it all day. You know what I'm saying? You got that?
Go
ahead, read.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 31.
Come on.
Envy thou not the oppressor.
Do not envy your oppressor. You right here, the Nation of Islam, you want to make a flag coming from Turkey, which most of them are devils anyway. You know, they not real Muslims neither, even if they call themselves Muslims. But a real Muslim is Arab. Those stinking Arabs over there, you know.
They stink too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They right behind Ham. They right behind. I don't know who's worse between them and the Hindus, you know, Elam, the East Indians. I don't know who's worse. They all got this funk that if their women would unravel all that they got on, you probably, you know, it would probably disease you, you know. But at the same time, go ahead, Salaki, go ahead, finish reading that. Start from the top.
Sir. Envy thou not the oppressor.
Envy thou not the oppressor. Don't do what the oppressor do. Don't look at his ways and actions and think that that was made for you. But of course, our people do it. Christianity, Islam, you know, the unconscious community. They worship all types of Egyptology things. you know, Hindu, you know, any brother out there or sister, you talking about aligning your seven chakras up, you know, with the Skittle colors right in the, I mean, I don't know how you can be centered that perfect. I don't even know what that means. But at the same time, we know we stop at lights, you know, we got red, yellow, and green, you know, you got all the other colors. You just so perfect and much better than us, you know. I guess you should be worshipped as the Hindu goddess of life. That's where you get that from, though. You see how this keep colliding. We keep making up, we keep getting into ideologies that doesn't belong to us. Finish reading.
Sir. And choose none of his ways.
Say it again.
And choose none of his ways.
Say it one more time.
And choose none of his ways.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. This is your way right here. This is your customs. This is our culture right here. Yes, we are a cult, short for culture. We do what we're supposed to do in here. We follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. And, you know, let's give it up for Commander General Yahanna, you know, bringing that truth out. That's how we know, you know, that we able to, you know, keep thriving on and on, pushing this truth. Or if you haven't done so, by the way, like and share the stream.
That's right.
Like and share the stream. You know, if you got any comments, you know, put them in the chat. Please don't disrespect us. You know what I'm saying? You be free to say what you want to say, but you know, just keep it professional, all right? Because you know, we not weak in here, you know. The warriors in here, we stand firm, you know, and we have been taught and trained very well by the men above us. Trust me on that one.
Right.
You can drop that, soldier. Let me get the book of Exodus 20:3. Exodus 20:3. As far as the you know, brothers and sisters, you know, with those seven chakras, that will go right back into this mixed up ideology that the 5%ers, the Nation of Islam, got as well. Because in 5%ers and they mathematics, 7 represents Allah, God. Now, how you gonna have both? You know what I'm saying? I guess it's because they say Allah is the creator and God is the black man. But at the same time, you was calling Clarence 13X, who the 5%ers call Father Allah. You call him Allah. How you gonna call him Allah, but he's supposed to be God because he's the black man, but Allah is the creator. But remember, they say that Farad Muhammad came in the person or the manifestation of Allah. So you mean to tell me Allah left his seat wherever he was in the universe is fake, and he came down as a white man to teach you brothers, you know what I'm saying? Whatever he taught you, you know, it's all trash, man. I mean, it's trash to the highest extent. And if you out there, if you in Harlem and you still going to the law school of Mecca right there on 126th Street, you lost. You need to find a UPK, which is right there in Harlem, not too far from there. Salaka, it's not too far from there. You go straight to headquarters, man, and come in this truth and learn how young men, then they become troopers. Salaka, sir, go ahead. They become troopers, and then you know you can become an officer, and so on and so on. Don't keep doing it. First of all, the 5% nation is dead. You know, you don't even hear about them. Most people don't even know about them. You will have to been somewhere in the 90s, maybe the early 2000s, 90s and 80s, you know, to even know about the 5%ers. But they was full of violence as well. They was full of violence because just take some of these rappers out here, like take Wu-Tang Clan. They probably the biggest promoters of the 5% ideology. Oh, Salaki, sir, you had something to say?
Yeah. I was saying, you bringing out a whole lot, you know, that I never really knew about, you know, the 5%ers, but yet I knew about the 5%ers and whatnot. But it seems to me, just like Islam, they are truly copying, you know, the Jews of antiquity. These niggas really are headquartered in 126th Street. Like they want to be us.
They right there, sir.
They're right there.
They right there.
Come on, man.
They right there.
You can't make this up.
Right. And for those, you know, because the 5%ers, they got their own flag as well. If you could bring that up, or do you want me to show that on camera, sir? They got their own flag, you know. Like the Nation of Islam got they made a flag.
Oh, 5%.
Sir. And the 5%ers got their own flag. you know, I got old doctrine here, you know, to show, you know, Officer Bakwas is going to bring it up, but that's it right there. Yes, that's it right there. You see the Nation of Islam flag right in there. That's how I let you know where they coming from. It's an 8-point star. It's a fake. It's not a star. The stars don't have points. But whatever they made it to be, because it's a false doctrine, you can see it right there. And 7 supposed to represent God in their mathematics. You know, and what is it? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G is the 7th letter in the alphabets, which represents God as well. So they like to tie the number 7 and the letter G, which represents God, in their false doctrine. They'll tie that in there and to fakely try to prove that the black man is God. The black man is not the Most High. The black man is not in the Hebrew Yahweh. Okay, we are sons. We are the Most High's children. We his favorite children. We are his people. He chose us. He didn't chose Islamic people, you know, Muslims, Arabs, Hindus, none of those people. Those people, you can see those people don't live like us.
Right.
You know, and this, if I could just show this is what they used to show right here. This is right here, they will call plus degrees because they got 120 degrees. You know, and they call that's basically a conversation between Elijah Muhammad and Farad Muhammad. It's 120 questions and answers dealing with certain things. You got the actual facts, solar facts, English lesson C, and student enrollment, which is just some ridiculous things. If you could, sir, you could bring that video up that I sent you, and we just gonna get in a little bit. You're gonna literally hear out of their mouth. Now, this is one of the brothers actually, Salakia, he's not a brother. This is one of their members in the Nation of Islam. This is Minister Nuri Muhammad. And just listen to this craziness right here. And this right here, where he says, this is where the 5%ers originate their crazy talk from. If you could, please, sir.
Of a 10-year-old child. Yet he taught about the moon being one
second. He getting ready to talk about Elijah Muhammad, how he only had a fourth grade education, but yet the devil Farad Muhammad, when he met him and he, you know, brought him into the knowledge of these lies and everything. So then this is this brother. Well, he's not a brother, Salakia. I'm gonna get into him later, but if you could, sir, pause on that one.
It's a part of the earth before the scientists ever knew it. Yet he taught that the earth was 35,000 miles in circumference at one time, now 24,896. He taught that there was 196,940,000 square miles of land and water, 139,685,000 of it being the water, with 68,634,000 square miles being Pacific Ocean.
Now, and we Israel, you hear this garbage? This is straight garbage right here. You know, this is dog pee and anything else, you know, attributed to it. How he know that? You know what I'm saying? If you believe that the white man know information like that, then you just, you know, you've been mentally messed up. We here to brainwash you. We here to wash your brain with the truth. That's what we do as priests and prophets in here. This man right here, Nuri Muhammad, what he's saying right here, this is literally the worship of Elijah Muhammad. I'm not going to say that title that they always refer to him as. You know, there's nothing honorable about him. You know, to say that the white man is the devil, which you get that from the Bible, to say that, and in the 60s, which, by the way, you know, we've been teaching the truth since 1969, and Elijah Muhammad was saying these type of things in the 60s, so we know where he really got it from. But for him to say that on national TV, and then Farrakhan, when he come along, he allows white people in their organization, which is supposed to be for black people. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to, quote unquote, fix and clean up the black man. You know, you allow somebody like this. By the way, this man right here, Nuri Muhammad, he He said it out of his own mouth. And if you could, sir, look up an AI overview of Nuri Muhammad. It's in there too, but he literally said it out of his own mouth, you know, where he come from. I'm not gonna say it yet. I'm gonna let Otto One say it for you. But even him, you know, I see why they pushed that, because it's not for you, black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man. This right here is all trash. You're not supposed to be following the ways and you know, you got that scripture?
Sir.
Can you read, please?
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Allah is not your God. Allah is a damn rock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Allah is a rock that those disgusting Arabs and whoever else goes over there, they circle around the rock, and they all can't place their lips on the rock, pause, you know, at once. I know a lot of them suffer from those mouthly STDs because all those lips on one object, you know, something coming behind that. You know, they don't believe in bathing. You know, we know that because we're clean people, and we can just smell the beasts that walk around on two legs. Unfortunately, I mean, me personally, Salaki, sir, go ahead.
Shell has a question. It says, "Is that true about Farrakhan dad is white?"
Yes, it is. He said it out his own mouth. He said his father is Jewish. That's what he said. You know, at the same time, he will sit up there and claim that, you know, part of him is Gad, you know, but he's not saying it from his father's point of view. But he definitely said that, you know, his father is Jewish. And Farrakhan does not push what even his own leader was pushing. He don't say that the white man is the devil. You know, that's what Elijah Muhammad was saying. Now, all of them questionable to me, you know. That's why Islam is not for you. Read that one more time from the top, warrior.
Conado and Concert. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. You don't place Allah and Buddha and Krishna and who else? White Jesus. You know, you can't put that before you. This is the image right here. Yeah, that's right. Right here. You don't put him before you. That's what we do with that. That's a foot mat right there. Right. You don't put him before you. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Read on.
Con, sir. Thou shalt not, Salaki. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images.
Don't make no graven images. That Christian cross, those star and crescents, you know, that our people are, you know, captured in the Nation of Islam, you know, in 5% nation, you know, you don't worship things like that. You don't try to make a pilgrimage over to Mecca, you know what I'm saying, Saudi Arabia, and you got to spin around a rock, you know, like you holding hands. Like I forgot the name of that dance that the little kids used to do when they hold hands and they all going to ring around the rosy. That's basically what it looked like, you know. I know. Color will come, sir. The water. It looked like ring around the rosy. I don't know why they just don't hold hands. Most of them are sodomites anyway. But you know, it's a terrible thing. So you as a brother or a sister, don't try to make a pilgrimage or a hajj to Mecca and spin around the rock and you got to kiss the rock and everything like that. Do away with those type of things. Read on.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Or any likeness or anything that is in heaven above. So you don't worship, you know, the stars and you know, and things like matter of fact, let me drop that and let me Jeremiah 10:2. Which Exodus it just said, you know, don't worship the thing, you know, the things in the heavens above. That's Jeremiah 10:2. Because that's what the heathens do. You know, at one point, Arabs, Muslims over there in the East, they used to have a god for every day, you know, of the calendar of the year. You know, they had 360 gods until Muhammad seen us, and then he started copying, you know, what we do. But of course, we wouldn't worship him, so he started putting us to death. And that's how Islam, true Islam, is spreaded with the sword. That's how they spread that. You got that?
Come on, sir.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 2.
Yep.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn what?
Not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. Keep going.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. You see, when you start getting into, vain philosophies and crazy doctrines, such as Hinduism, Islam and Buddhism, Confucianism, you know what I'm saying? You start, and you start to get into these ideologies, you start to pull away from who you truly are, which is a child of the Most High. You from the nation of Israel if your father is Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian, So when you pull away from your true culture, then you really fit, who our people are. And yes, we in captivity. We are the lost sheep, of the house of Israel. That's who we are. Read from the top one more time.
Come on, sir. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
Right.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
For the heathen are dismayed at them. So this is a damn direct order for you not to do what the heathen do. And it clearly says this is what they do. So they the ones that look up in the sky and be ooh and ahs, They had oohs and ahs about the stars, comets, the sun, Preferably, they should just stare right into the sun every day for 3 hours. That's what they should do. That's what the heathen should do. Just stare right into the sun, no shades, nothing. Just stare at the sun since you worship, the things in heaven as such as you do. You can drop that, soldier.
All right, sir.
So it's if we I was trying to get a where the thing about Nuri Muhammad, how I'm gonna just tell you, he said his father is Iranian. So that dude that was right there, he is of Iranian descent. He said his mother was a slave, she's the children of the slaves. So of course she probably would be, from the tribe of Judah, or who knows what tribe, but that's what he said. But his father is of Iranian descent. And this is the same man that got into the Nation of Islam, got part of their security team, which they call the FOI, the Fruit of Islam, where they think they nothing can match the warriors in here,
Right.
So they can have all that. But the Nation of Islam is no threat to nobody. Nobody cares. You don't even see them selling bean pies and Final Call magazines no more. You don't even see them. They are totally obsolete. We're the only ones that stand on the streets every day, all day, on the weekends. We the only ones that's pushing the real, genuine solution for our people, which is the truth. Your constitution is in that Bible. It's not in that comic book that we call the Quran. Yeah, if y'all didn't know, we take the Quran and we do like that with it right on the street in front of you, if you calling yourself a Muslim, brother or not, because we showing you we're trashing these ideologies, what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be worshiping Allah. And on a side note, those cone heads, or the flat tops, the Moor Science Temple brothers, they actually brothers, but of course they deal with vain philosophies as well. They tell you that Allah, especially the ones that's all in the Esau's court system, that's where they love to stay at. I've never met a brother that loves to stay within the court system. That's detrimental to our people. But they'll tell you that Allah means all law, like ALL space LAW, all law. That's what they push. They push that because they think you can take paperwork and have some real justice in this world. Nah, the only justice for Esau is what the Lord got coming, is what the Lord's going to bring to him. It's like I said. So this is basically how they go around with the cobblestone in Mecca. I just don't see why they not holding hands. That's how they go. They are such deviants. You know, these people are sick. Look at this. This is a form of worship right here. They sing songs. This looks so Christian as well. And by the way, Muslims are basically Christians as well. You know, anything goes. You know, whenever you want to break the law, you can do that. There's false law. That just looks like a merry-go-round with a bunch of people on it. It's spinning and spinning. You know, these are the same people that will come over here. You got something to say?
Salaki, sir. I don't think I would want another man that close on my back.
Not at all. But see, they don't excuse things like that. They could care less if that man is right there. You ever seen for Israel out there? You ever seen how Hamites and Arabs, how they talk to each other? There's nothing for them to be right here. You know, the other man's face is right here and his is right here, and they literally just speaking to each other and won't move. You know, they will not move. They keep that's consistent right there. They're gonna keep that going, and they do that right in public. You know, so and these places that I'm speaking about, you know, this is what drives our people crazy, because once they come up out of these false doctrines, then if they don't turn to drugs, you know, or any type of whoredom, you know, or any, you know, saying inflicting brutality on their own people, you know, they just totally lost, man. But we got the answer for you, though. We got the answer here, thanks to Commander Junior Yahanna.
That's right.
We push this truth. You know what I'm saying? Give Commander Junior Yahanna one more hand. Commander Junior Yahanna is the reason why we observe Hanukkah. You know, the white man, the Jewish man, Ashkenazi, he likes to say Hanukkah. And you've seen what happened to him in Australia. That doesn't happen to us because the Lord is with us. We're not sitting up here breaking the law, statutes, and commandments and you know, dealing with things like this. We came here to fish. We got to get a lot of our people out of this world so they can be in here, this one body, so we won't have to keep going through these things. Yes, we disobeyed the Most High. That don't mean that we can't come back, though. Repent and come back and follow these law, statutes, and commandments. But yes, that was a good example right there of these heathens, you know, and how they operate. You know, it's sickening. Salakia, if I can get the another scripture, Habakkuk 2:19. So the Clarence 13X, him and Justice, them spreading the 5% ideology. They was teaching these lessons. That's how they got kicked out of there by Malcolm X and his crew. And they was teaching that 120 that I spoke about earlier. 1 second. They was teaching that earlier about the 120. And it's not something that the Nation of Islam was, you know, privy and everybody to even notice or had that information. So as they were teaching it to young black men on the streets, young sisters on the streets, and they got in trouble for that. That's why they were kicked out. And they took that information, made up the mathematics, made up the alphabets, made up what they call 12 Jews. You know, you can easily do, you know, research on it. Now, the whole grasp of how they operate, you would probably literally have to talk to somebody that was in the 5% nation. But at the same time, a lot of our hip hop artists was spreading. There's no code of conduct. You know what I'm saying? If I could say that, there's no code of conduct in the 5%ers or the 5%ers. They don't care. Once they left the Nation of Islam, they just did anything. You can smoke, you can drink yourself to death, smoke crack, hard drugs, anything, you know, sexual deviancy. They didn't care. And you can hear that a lot in the raps, you know. Salaki, sir.
If I may, what you're saying is mad heavy, especially this the topic is so going into this, you know, Nation of Islam and going into these 5%ers. Like, that's why we say in I.S.U.P.K that, you know, Christianity and the Nation of Islam, which is nothing but a sand Christian, why that is the worst drug that black people have ever been on. It tries to remove you away from your reality. When you talk about allowing you to smoke and this and this and that, the difference between us, the truth, and them, and how you know the ISUPK is not a drug and it's not a religion, is we show you your reality. We don't try to get you to go across to, you know, the Mecca, you know what I mean, and find yourself doing the foot dance up in there with these ain't had no shoes or socks on. I said, the first thing that came to my mind was, they must stink in there. It's a lot of feet hitting ground in there, bare ground. You understand? And it's it just shows you the difference between it. We're not looking to try to give you another identity. We're not looking to try to get you to follow, you know, or be a part of another race society. You know, that's the difference, to show you that the ISUPK is not a part of the drug of religion, because we actually show you your reality. Right. The rest of these religions try to take you out of your reality.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, so this is a real heavy thing you was just saying just now.
Wow, sir. Most High in Christ. That's right. You can get the book of Habakkuk 2:19.
Come on, sir. I got it.
You go ahead.
This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 19. Woe unto him that saith to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone.
Awake to the dumb stone. How you gonna speak to wood? You know, how you gonna speak to a piece of stone? You can't speak. Woe. Woe is destruction. You know, woe is complete discomfort. It's straight up destruction. Woe. Read it again.
Woe unto him that saith to the wood, awake.
Awake, awake. You can't speak to wood because wood is not alive. Right. Wood doesn't have vocal cords in a mouth to even speak to you. Keep going.
To the dumb stone, arise.
That dumb stone right there. This is referring to that cobblestone out there in the middle of the desert, where nothing grows and everybody flocks to go there to play Ring Around the Rosie around something that's been replaced for like 9 times. You know, that big square tall cobblestone has been replaced about 9 or 10 times. That's not original. That rock, that comet that fell out, or asteroid that fell out of the sky, who knows if that's even real? You know, and it's little. You should see the size of it and how people go around and try to flock and put their lips on there. I think they encased it now with glass, you know, but it's sickening. Keep going.
To the dumb stone, arise, it shall teach. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver.
It is laid over with gold and silver. That's because people acknowledging this, you know what I'm saying? They trying to put value to what they, you know, worship. You know, we here in the I.S.U.P.K, we don't worship wood and stone. You know, that wood is that Christian, that stinking Christian cross. That stone is that Islamic Kaaba stone, or the meteor that fell out the sky. You know, was that it on that?
Sir.
Keep going.
And there is no breath at all in the midst of it.
There's no breath at all in the midst of it. That's just like a lot of our people right now. Y'all getting ready to go out and celebrate this crazy holiday called Christmas, you know, and the tree is not alive. You know, the tree won't speak to you or anything like that, but yet you're gonna put a tree in your house, you know, and adorn it, dress it up with silver and gold, you know, and you thinking you doing something. You know, that's why we keep going through these tragedies. Then you're gonna celebrate New Year's, and then everything else after that. Thank the Lord that Esau, I think he done away with MLK Day. I think that was done away with, you know, or certain places. It was already not celebrated in Arizona. But, you know, I can't really say how I abbreviate his real name, Luther, but I'm gonna just, you know, keep it at MLK. But I have my own, you know, way of saying who he is. You know, one of the greatest sellouts in Black history, you know. But you could drop that, warrior. So getting back, you know, to the you know, like things like this, you know, with these, they call these plus degrees in the 5%ers, right? So you think you're getting real, you know, a supreme knowledge. As like, I'll give you an example. Like one time on, I forgot what song this is, but it's on Raekwon's first album, Only Built for Cuban Links. Raekwon, if those who don't know, that's a rapper. He come up out of Wu-Tang. Okay, his first solo album, Only Built for Cuban Links. It dropped in summer 95, and it's a skit on there. No, matter of fact, it's part of the rhyme. I think Ghostface said, or either Raekwon said, what makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes? So a question like that, you like, how is somebody going to answer that? You know, but thanks, you know, no thanks to the 5%ers, they got it. You know, I mean, my brother told me one time in the world, his brother, and I remember his name was C Civilized. These are some of the names that they derived out of these mathematics and alphabets. That's where those brothers get their names from. I say brother because it's not too many heathens in the 5%ers, but they do accept heathens, and they will accept the white boy in there, you know, just like the Nation of Islam, but they call them Muslim sons. He can't do everything that they do, but he can be almost like a long lost brother to them. It doesn't surprise me because their founder is a white man. So there you go, right there, Christian at his finest. But what makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes? And the brother told me one time is the black man causes the weather. The reason why the black man is here on earth is why the wind blow, while the rain falls, you know, while the earth shakes and tremble. This is what he told me, you know. For you 5%ers out there, or whoever used to be in that, you know what I'm talking about. And you know this sounds ridiculous. You know, we just played earlier that heathen Nuri Muhammad, who's Iranian, he said that he running down numbers, you know, this is another thing that they teach, the circumference of the earth, you know, how many square miles is on the earth, the square mileage. How much of that square mileage does the black man utilize? Like, how you gonna tell somebody? Just think of this: the 12 tribes, the nation of Israel, right? We scattered all over across the planet, the four corners of the planet. How would we know? Say, we got brothers in Vietnam or somewhere, Philippines. How you know how much square mileage of land they are actually using? How much square mileage do you know how much Judah is using, or Reuben, or Manasseh? You know, you don't even know the square mileage at Cuba, but yet you're gonna sit here and state something that we use. Not only are you saying how much we use, but you know for a fact what's the square mileage of the planet. So you've been around the whole planet. And another thing they teach is, you know, because of the devil, right? He the reason why, you know, everything is wrong. Of course, we say that come from us. That comes from the Bible. But they teach that some big-headed scientists, this comes right out of the book of The Message to the Black Man, which Elijah Muhammad wrote way back then. This is how a lot of brothers got into that crazy nonsense. In The Message to the Black Man, it's a chapter in there called The Making of the Devil, which is talking about how the white man was literally made. How you take, you know, for time's sake, you got the black man. And they kept dumbing, and they kept washing his seed after 200 years, because the Nation of Islam and the 5%ers believe that it took 600 years in the making of the white man. That's why they say his number is 666, right? So you got 200 years of a pure dark-skinned man, right? That's what they say. You know, just a dark-skinned brother. Took 200 years to dumb down his seed. You keep having him have sex with more light-skinned black people. Right? Then you eventually came to the brown seed. Then the brown seed keep having sex with the lighter of our people. And then you eventually come to a brother of, you know, light, just straight up light-skinned brother. Take my complexion, brother, my complexion. And then it comes down to him having sex with, you know, lighter, you know what I'm saying? And then you get the devil. And Yakub did this. Some big-headed scientists on the island of Pelon, which is Patmos over there in Greek. This is what they say, though. You know, it took 600 years in the making of the devil through a special scientific way called grafting, where you grafting the devil, or they refer to him as the grafted devil. This is the ideology that, you know, Nation of Islam and 5%ers push on our people, and they literally believe this. They literally believe that Elijah Muhammad is on the mothership. You know what I'm saying? Because this is another thing that they talk about. they spread that a mothership, a big spaceship. We call them chariots in the scriptures. The Bible teaches us we know what the angels ride on and what Christ is coming back in, just like how he left up out of here. But they call it the mothership, and Elijah Muhammad is on the mothership and awaiting to destroy this place. They will sit there and take some of our some of our knowledge coming straight up out of the scriptures, but they twist it and balled it up and then feed it to you as if it's real. You can't trust. They just like they father, the devil, man. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that they straight up Edomites. It's just our people, just like our people in the Christian church. They lost, man. They are truly lost. But they talk about things like that. You'll see them do things like this. Peace, God. They doing all this. You know what I'm saying? Peace, God. What's today's mathematics? On a side note, Slaki, sir, go ahead.
When you're saying that, I'm from. People don't know, I'm from New York, and growing up, I didn't know where I came from, but yeah, we call each other God. Yeah.
Khan.
What's up, God?
Khan.
Where you been at, God?
Right. That comes straight up out of the 5% nation. Coming from that mathematics, and coming from those Nation of Islam lessons where they say that the black man is God. But they make sure they do this because this is division, but this is supposed to be peace because you put two fingers together, so it immediately means peace, which is a lie. Peace, God. What's today's mathematics? A lot of people say, with like a lot of brothers got beat up too. They, that's another thing that, like I was mentioning earlier, that the 5% nation, they was beating down brothers because they had something called a parliament where all of them meet up and they gather, in congregation. Just like a Christian church, but they just outside. I guess they ain't had no money for the building, But they did this the same thing, and they go over the math and they go over the stupid alphabets. But if you didn't get today's mathematics, like today, what's today's date? The 15th. So the 15th, number 1 being knowledge, number 5 being power. So if you didn't quote all that and then had to break it down, you didn't get none of that right, you got beat up. You flat out got beat up. Go ahead, boy.
Slocky, sir, but they didn't have proper mathematics because they weren't paying tithes.
Give my hand. It sounds like they in a constant motion of decreasing, But brothers got beat up because they couldn't quote to so-called today's mathematics. Nobody asks you break down number 1 and number 5 and things like that, but this is part of their false ideology. So going into that, for time's sake, that math, did they say, what's today's mathematics? You can hear a lot of hip hop artists saying that. It was an old group too called Poor Righteous Teachers, which they are straight up. They pushed it too, but not like Wu-Tang. But the Poor Righteous Teachers, the main MC in that group was Wise Intelligent. These type of names come straight up out of the 5% nation as well. If well, of course we can't play that, but Poor Righteous Teachers, the song is called Rock This Funky Joint. That's the name of the song for those out there. If you want to look it up, research it. You probably heard the song before anyway. The song don't sound bad, but what they spreading and teaching is direct in conflict of what we supposed to be doing as the Lord's chosen people. This is not what we supposed to be doing. I wanted to get another scripture too. Can you get Revelation 18:4, please? Revelations 18:4. And these type of things, even Rakim, he one of his albums was called The 18th Letter. That's the letter R, which is in the 5%ers on a alphabet. They call it the supreme alphabets, but I say alphabet. The letter R, the 18th letter, which means ruler. And that's why, he calls himself ruler. Even RZA from Wu-Tang, he will attribute 5% teachings to his name, RZA, R-Z-A. He'll call himself ruler, zigzag, zig, Allah. Zigzag, zig is Z in the alphabets, which zigzag, zig, the letter Z, which means man, woman, and child, sun, moon, and star, because they contribute the sun with the man, the moon with the woman, That's why they call it the sisters, the earths, you know. And then they say the child are the stars that come along, even though the sun is a star, you know. So it flips right there. It's just like that flag, you know, it's backwards, you know. You are inflicted stupidity, is what you are. Yeah. Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4.
Right.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Come out of her, my people. All these false doctrines and vain philosophies, you know, we're not supposed to be a part of them. And this right here is Babylon the Great. America is Babylon the Great. You know, the word Babylon, the root word of it is Babel, you know, which means confusion. So everything in this land right here is all to confuse you. If you don't have the truth, this is where you're going to be. You're going to be wondering, how can you get into the nation of gods and earths? You know what I'm saying? How can you get into the nation of Islam, which is all false? You're gonna be in there right beside heathens, just as if you was to make that stupid trip over there to Mecca and run around with Ring Around a Rosie, you know, in those constituents, you know what I'm saying, of a nobody type people. You know, that's what you want. You don't want that. You want to come into this body right here, I.S.U.P.K. We're the only ones on the planet that got the truth for our people. There's nowhere else on the planet that you're going to find real brotherhood, real sisterhood, you know, at our events. The kids can run around free and nobody touch them. Most of them don't even ask where their kids is at, because we already know they good, you know. Read from the top.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins.
Be not partakers of her sins. Reason why you want to come out of here, and that don't mean physically you got to leave the shores of America. Meaning, this scripture right here means you stop celebrating Christmas, which is coming up. New Year's right behind it. Don't celebrate Easter, 4th of July, your birthday, because it falls right in line. You already here, so I don't know why you need to, you feel the need to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not you're making yourself a god of that day, like you should be worshipped, when you did not create the days. You know, the Lord created you and he created the earth. That is not your day. Birthday, you know, that's the day you were born. You don't have it after that. It's no more. Just keep going, you know. No, you can read it again one more time.
Sir. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Come out of her, my people.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
Right.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
You don't follow these false ideologies, and you come up out of America, you do away with America's ways. Because I don't know if y'all notice, America is super drunk right now with power. Super drunk. They bombing fisher boats down there in the in Venezuela. You know, they bombing them for no reason. I don't even hear stories about they even went to go check on the boat and see who's who, or if they even got drugs on the boat. That's just another slick way to try to take, you know, Venezuela's oil. You know what I'm saying? That's just another slick way. Matter of fact, on a Venezuela, can we bring it up in Genesis where Asher will be with Asher will be dipped in oil. You know, the abundance, you know, it's just so real. These scriptures are real. You know, this is a living book right here. And this book doesn't belong to anybody else but Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's the only people it belongs to. Nobody else has this knowledge that we have. Anybody can have the book, but it doesn't pertain to you, though. It's not yours, you know. And Donald Trump, on his mayhem, you know, ways and actions, you know, he just need to find another way, you know, to satisfy his greed. Because, you know, Esau, the white man, he the devil all day. We say that every week. Doesn't matter where we at on the earth. We're going to tell you that the white man is the devil, you know. And that's why you need to come up out of America, come up out of her, so you won't receive, you know, her plagues. You won't be dusted off, you know, because dealing with America will drive you crazy. It will drive you crazy if you don't have the truth. Another thing about, you know, about this Dr. Yakub, what I was going into, they believe that Yakub was a big-headed scientist 50,000 years ago, you know, and that he created the white race. And he is the reason why our people have so-called nappy hair as well, because he said we were in the jungles of Africa, you know, and due to the fact that we were in the jungle and we were left alone so long, our hair grew a certain way. When you look at, you can do this research on your own time, Israel, or whoever, you know what I'm saying? That Louis, it's a video where Louis Farrakhan is talking about hair, and he's saying that you're supposed to have slick hair. The hair on your eyebrows is what's supposed to be actually on the top of, you know, your head. Pause. That is what you're supposed to be having. Now, he's a white man. Why wouldn't he say that? But you know, the nation, that's why we're saying that the Nation of Islam is not for our people, man. It's not for our people. You know, that saying things like that he just straight up dogging us. He and his congregation is allowing him to do this. He's been doing it for years. You know, he stopped saying that the white man is the devil, which we never cared, because he got it from us. You know, I don't care who Elijah Muhammad heard it from. We know where he got it from. Okay, so you can, you know, serving the God of the Muslims or the Arabs does not do you any service. It do you a disservice. Right. You got that?
Come on, sir.
Read, please.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33, verse 24. And of Asher he said, let Asher be blessed with children. Let him be acceptable to his brethren.
That's right.
And let him dip his foot in oil.
You see, Asher, the tribe of Asher is all the brothers and sisters from Colombia all the way down to Uruguay, all the way down. That includes Peruvians, Ecuadorians, Colombians, Brazilians, Venezuelans, Guyanese. What's the other one? Suriname. And it's another one too. But, you know, all that off of the, you know, that Amazon region, you know what I'm saying? All of that, with the exception of Chile and Argentina. That's the tribe of Naphtali. But all the other ones, you know, that's our Asherite brothers, or in Hebrew we would say Asher, you know, and they were blessed. Their feet dipped in oil. That's how much oil they got over there, you know, and Donald Trump wants it. And that's why he's waging war. And our people down there, of course, they need to come into the truth as well. You know, we got Venezuelan brothers and sisters in this school. We got everybody in this school that's of the 12 tribes of Israel, because that's who we are. You know, we are nobody else. So you can't be a real Muslim and you a black man, Hispanic, or Native Indian man. You cannot be a real Muslim and live here in America, because the laws that America has that governs this land by, it prohibits that you can take your woman, if you even fear that she is in rebellion of you, you can take her, and it says strike her, you know, in the bed. If she don't want to, you know, sleep with you that night, you can strike her. You know, you are to strike and unalive the non-believers or the ones who persecute you in your doctrine. Actual Arabs over there in the Middle East they actually do them, and they've been doing them for thousands of years. You, as the black man over here in America, you're not speaking on things like that. You calling yourself a Muslim. First of all, you're not dressing like those heathens, and you calling yourself a Muslim. And then what we just read right here, what I just revealed to you right here, is coming out of the Quran and those stupid hadiths. You know what I'm saying? You're not doing all that, yet you worshiping, you say you worshiping Allah, and you say you're a Muslim. But how come you're not doing what they doing? How come you're not beating your wife to death? You know what I'm saying? If she don't give you know what I'm saying, some honey for the night. You know what I'm saying? How come you not, you know, out here in the streets of America just, you know, unaliving people like they do over there in the Middle East? Because these over, don't get me wrong, what happens, some of these acts of terrorism, it is happening. You know, it's definitely happening, but not like that Sharia law over there. You know, it's not happening like that. Why? Because this nation right here is not gonna stand for it. They will allow you to come over here, and some nutso, he flips off. You know, he probably been trained by the CIA. He goes into he might feel that he's neglected, just like the heathen that shot 2 National Guardsmen in DC a couple of weeks ago. You know, he flipped out and came out there. You know, he was trained by the CIA before he got over here. So, you know, you don't want to end up like that, serving another God. We read earlier that you shall have no other gods before me. You know what I'm saying? Don't worship the star in the crescent, and especially the number 7. Why would you worship a number? I have no idea. But, you know, that's what the 5%ers do. You know, don't be peace godding up in here, out here, and putting your fingers together saying peace. You know, we say shalom. That's peace right there. You know, it's not shalom. It's not what the Muslims say. I mean, they got their own language, but you as a brother, you need to take the bow tie off, unravel it, let your hair grow on your face. If you grow hair, take the whole suit off because you look like a clown with them big funny shoes on. Stop getting a part in your head. You might got permanent damage because it's been in there since the 60s, you know, and then you like to slide it back over here with the thickest of grease, you know. I mean, damn, even the Gadites over here used to put bear fat and melt it down in their hair. And that's why you see someone with straight, slick hair, but their hair used to be puffy, though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them got afros, all that. Yeah, but they took bear fat and did that. But at the same time, you know, don't try to be a 3-piece suit wearing brother with no hair on your face, looking like a baby's butt. You know what I'm saying? And just a whole bunch of things, man. Like, come in, you know, the Lord said we was rough and tough, man. We warriors, you know. So, you know, fall back from the ideologies of the heathens, man. Partake not in America's sins. And you getting with heathen ideology, you will be partaking in her sins, whether you know it or not. It just comes with it. It comes right along with it, you know. And with that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Officer Barack.
Good night. All right, these are the security announcements. We're the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street out of Harlem, New York, under Commander Yahanna. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves of the word. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. It means 10th in Hebrew and it's pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you get to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offer for priests. Not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. The upcoming holy convocation. First, let's give a hand. What was yesterday with the feast of dedication? Right, let's give a hand to that. Commander Yahanna, making sure that we keeping these keeping the structure of the Bible. Right. The next upcoming high holy day, that'll be Purim. 1 second. That'll be Purim. That'll be the 14th day of the 15th day of the 12th month. That'll be Monday, March 2nd, and Tuesday, March 3rd of 2026. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. As well, the Passover date for the Lord's 57th annual Passover date has been released. It's going down in Houston, Texas on April 4th. The weekend is going to go from April 1st all the way over to the 6th. You want to plan it for the entire weekend. It's going to be all sorts of, the entire week. It's going to be all sorts of events going on, children's parties, the black parties, and so forth on. And, you know, brothers going to be performing out there, sisters performing, the food going to be good. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be a taste of the kingdom of heaven. You want to make sure you out there. If you of the age of 17 and above, the price per person, 17 and above, is $200. I almost said $20. I lied to the nation just now. $200. 17 years of age or older. You got plenty of time up ahead, but it's going to fly by. So go ahead and start putting aside a little bit of change. If you have any concerns, questions regarding the Passover, get in contact with your camp leader over your zone. If you feel like you're going to have any issues, financial, transportation, whatever the case may be, don't let that be a demon that stops you from making it to the Passover. You know what I mean? As well, Commander General Yahanna is going live tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The name of the channel is The Real General Yahanna. The Real General Yahanna. You want to make sure you tune in on there. Like the stream, share the stream, put some comments in there. It's going down at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Make sure you pay your tithes. ISUPK.com. Make sure you're paying your tithes. Anything you want to add on that?
Come. So make sure everybody out there show up at the Passover. That's not a request. That was ordered by the Lord to do.
Right.
Show up in Houston, 4th. That's the Passover. Come before that so you can attend all the other activities that we got. And everybody's going to be safe, you know. So make sure you pay your fee, $200, pay your tithes, and come up in this school. Block, how you?
Osan Karis. Remind Akim and Agwatin to check on social media, such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, you start wearing all black, which includes black boots, black shirt, black headband or scarf, black pants, black headband or scarf. And with that, I say Amadjum, which means to stand. Men only, the sisters, you can stay seated. Men of Israel, we're going to give one curse salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amadjum Shabbat, Amadjum, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barak Thumb.
Yahweh Saw, which means to turn. Sister, you can stand. Place this down for a second. You can face us. You want to have your feet together. Want to hold your hands like this, right over your left. There you go. Men of Israel, we're going to give one curse salute to the sisters, men only. Men of Israel, Amadjum Shabbat, Amadjum, Barak, Yahweh Shema. You just repeat it back. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shema.
Shema.
Alatan.
Alatan.
Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Bahashem.
Bahashem.
Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Damn right. Mental class dismissed.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The I.S.U.P.K. under Commanding General Yahanna presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026 in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahanna. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.